The Guru is live with Homebuyer's Remorse.
Here we go this morning with Homebuyer's Remorse. It's a tough topic. This is one that people don't like to talk about. They don't even like to think about it because it's remorse. It's that buyer's remorse. And you know what we're managing? We are managing the whole process. We are professional relationship managers, but the remorse part, no one likes to talk about it. It's that secret thing behind, we like to do the sale and then run away. But that's not how you build your long-term business. You're going to build your long-term business by getting referrals. And part of getting referrals is managing the buyer remorse, which let me just give you a secret into where we're going. It's stress and anxiety. That's what we're managing. And there's great ways to manage this. And you know what? Once you manage it, you will solidify. You will have solid that future referral in your pocket, building your business larger than ever imagined before. And it starts right after this.
So, Rod, you want to give a $5,000 bonus?
That's right. I want to give $5,000. And in fact, $5,000 is more than a lot of agents even made last year.
Why do you want to give a $5,000 bonus? That's a lot of money.
$5,000. I'm looking for a team. I'm looking for the best team. And I'm looking to bonus them $5,000. I don't care if you've never sold a home before or if you've sold 100 homes. I'm looking to put together the best team and put 5,000 bonus dollars in your pocket.
So why don't we get together for coffee and talk about the details?
Talk to you soon.
The Guru is back.
Okay, grab your cup of coffee this morning. We're going to dismantle this stress problem. We're going to take apart this whole remorse thing so you can manage the relationship and put that referral in your pocket because that's what it's going to take. You have to come out. You've managed the whole thing going in. You've had a great relationship going in. You've had timelines. You've kept them up to speed. They've known what to expect the whole time. You've kept the stress low in one of the highest stress things that people ever do, and that is buying a home, which includes moving. It includes them moving away from their home and their possessions and all of their stuff, and this brings on this unbelievable cause. And some of those causes are stress and anxiety. When we start talking about managing and how to manage buyer's remorse, you have to go down to the root causes. And the root causes are embedded in stress and anxiety. It is truly the unknown. You think about yourself, anything you're ever doing, and when you don't know what is to come next, you start getting anxiety. It is natural. It's a human reaction to get anxiety and stress over the unknown. So what you've been doing is you've been managing this stress and anxiety through the buying process or possibly the selling process. Whatever side you're on, you've been managing the relationship. You've been keeping track of it. You've got timelines. You've been meeting with them. You kept people in the communication loop. But now there's a new creature looming in the lagoon. There's a new Loch Ness monster coming out after you and your relationship. And get ready. If you're not ready for it, you might be blamed for it. And that's not what you want. You want this relationship to stay solid. You don't want to run away from the relationship. That's a ridiculous answer because you're looking for the future of getting those referrals. And how do we do that? Well, we unwind this whole thing and we start taking a look at Why is there anxiety? Why is there stress? And we start talking with our client about this very process. So what are they worried about? You might even want to say to them, so what are you worried about? What's going on here? Are you worried about the dollars? Are you worried about moving? Is the move, is packing up part of the stress? You can help with the packing. You literally can go and help someone pack. You also can go and say, look, there are people that can pack for you. And there's a bunch of people that don't recognize that hiring a professional mover, it can be quite affordable. And it might be the very answer that your client needs, is to have someone step in and help them with the moving process. My brother just got done moving to Minnesota. He hired someone to come in and move him. He didn't have time. He certainly had the ability, had the strength to do it, but they didn't have time to do it. So they were stressed over this. They went out and got a professional mover. The people came in, they grabbed everything they could in their van and they took off for their new destination. The movers came in after that and they packed up the whole house, delivered it to them, and put it in the correct rooms because they marked the boxes. This is an amazing thing. Talk about lowering the stress, anxiety, and the whole process for somebody. You can talk them through this. You can get quotes for them. You can lower their anxiety and the pressures that go along with it. You know, a lot of people don't even want to buy a new house or sell their house because even though they need to, they can be somewhere better. But the moving process, not even the dollars. It may not be the dollars at all. It's the moving process, that packing and going through your stuff. All that stuff that's been sitting out there for a decade, because, we all gain stuff in life. It's the natural process of living somewhere. We will simply gain stuff no matter where we're at. It gets set beside the house. It gets set in the garage. We forget about it. But the stress and anxiety can also come from other places. It can come from family. Like, what is family going to think about me moving? I know it seems like one of those little hidden things. How could family ever have any other thoughts other than positive about me moving? Well, family gets stressed along with you. They're used to people living over at 123 Main Street. And now they're not going to be at 123 Main Street anymore. They're going to be, even if it's in the same town, it's somewhere else. So family causes stress on family. And you think family should be reducing their own stress, and they don't. They actually build upon it often. Now, there's some family members that certainly can help reduce the stress. But some of them complain about it. And they can hardly believe that you're moving. And, what are you going to do? And where are the children going to go? And this adds to the stress of the people either selling or buying. Let me tell you, managing the stress, managing that anxiety that causes the buyer's remorse. Because I'll tell you, it's coming. If you haven't been in this industry long and haven't closed any or many deals, let me tell you, the buyer's remorse piece is coming at you like gangbusters. And pretty soon they'll be calling you and say, I don't know why I did this. I didn't know the numbers. I didn't know the schools. I really didn't know the layout of the house. I didn't know what I was doing. Attacking this problem ahead of time. Start getting the family associated with the new environment ahead of time. This is critical to managing the process. You want to start feeding them information. And you do it on the slide, by the way. You start feeding them information about, in that new neighborhood you're going to be living in, look at these neat events going on. Oh, in that new neighborhood that's going on, the school has a theater, and there's a play coming up next week. And by the way, I went and got you some tickets to it, just so you can go and enjoy that theater coming up inside that new school area. So you can take the kids over there. You can enjoy it. Go and enjoy it. You're lowering the stress for the kids, because they're going to get to go and be on the school property. They're going to get to meet some of the people there. They might even meet some of their teachers. You're going to be at a school play. This is terrific news. This is something you can be involved in. And let me tell you, you want to be remembered well, do something that lowers the anxiety for the family and the kids, because that's amazing. Kids get stressed just like we do as adults. They get stressed about the school systems, what they're going to be doing. It's their life. This is what they're doing. We think that it's only us as adults that get stressed. Oh, no. And the kids' stress will pour off onto the parents like crazy. It's like a wildfire that's happening. Hey, let me slow down this morning just a little bit. Take a sip of my Black Rifle company coffee. Enjoying the coffee this morning. I hope you got a cup of coffee this morning. Take a minute and hit that like button. I love it when you hit the like button. It's awesome. It notifies me when you do it, and I absolutely enjoy the like button. Also, take a minute and hit the comment. Make a comment. How do you help manage the stress, anxiety, and buyer's remorse of your client? Now, buyer's remorse for those buying. You also have seller's remorse. I'm calling this buyer's remorse, but you also have the seller's remorse, because people get attached to their home. How do you manage the seller's remorse? I don't know. By the way, I'm terrible about it. On a personal note, I don't know what I'll do when I finally move away someday from my home. I've been in it 15 years. They have a farm out here in the Corbin, Oregon area. I love it. It's the longest I've ever lived anywhere in my life. Same thing for my wife. We have moved, all of our lives, ever since children, both of us. We had moved about every 3 or 4 years all of our lives. And there's a lot of people that do that because of the military and all kinds of things. If you've moved along a lot, once you get somewhere and you lay down roots, the seller's remorse is a for real thing. It is rooted, and it will come. At first, no big deal. But as the event gets closer and you start packing and you start having to deal with it, all of a sudden it can hit you like a lead balloon. So make sure you are discussing the finances with the family. What are the finances going to look like? Let's make sure we get that out of the way. You don't want to be blamed later that you didn't have transparency of the financial picture. And this is an easy one to do. Go to the lender and ask for the lender to put together a full picture of what the pity is going to look like. Principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. You don't want just the PI. You don't want just the principal and interest on this. You want to show them what the actual number coming out of their bank account is going to look like. Include on that, how far away are they going to have to travel for jobs, for schools? Because is this going to add or take away? Is it going to, hopefully, space-wise or travel distance-wise, they're moving somewhere it's going to be better for them. That's what I would certainly hope. But either way, make sure you're mentioning those factors as well, because it will hit the family financially, and it can hit them big time. So you want to make sure that that part of the picture is put away and they are comfortable with their numbers. But there's lots of other reasons that people get stressed. There's lots of other reasons that buyer's remorse comes up, and it comes up largely because of the unexpected and the unknown and the remorse of, I can't believe I didn't take enough pictures. I can't believe I didn't save the memories. You can help people save their memories. Once again, it's sliding right into home plate on this. You need to go in before the buyer or the seller starts the packing process. Go to where they're currently living. They've probably been there quite a while. And offer to video everything. Do an in-depth video. Do in-depth snapshots of them around their stuff. You're doing two things here. Number one is you're creating a memory device that will help them with their remorse, because now they have this great in-depth video and snapshots. This is something we can do with our smartphones so well. It really couldn't have been done in years past. We are to the point now that smartphones are so great. We can walk around making these amazing videos. You can give it to them right through a download. And you can hold on to it and share it with them a year later and say, remember when you were. It gives you an opportunity to share again. And that's coming up, the next year when you're going to say, hey, you've been in your new place a year now, and look where you came from. And it brings on memories, and the whole thing is just amazing. So you want to make sure you go in and offer to the family. You're going to completely video and snapshot everything with them. And you want talking pieces. You want everything involved. You don't want some silent video. You want it to be lively. And you want it to talk about the process of their moving and where they're going and their expectations, so that in a year, looking back at this, now the buyer's remorse will happen well before that year. This is just adding to where you're going with getting that referral in your pocket, because that's what you ultimately want. So doing this video process is amazing. But number two, the second thing you're doing for them is you are inventorying their house for them. And I would mention it to them because this is part of the remorse of, I don't know where my stuff is at anymore. Well, let's take a look at where it was. We have a whole video, and as part of the video, of course, you're going to be able to find a lot of your, remember, you're going to do the in-depth video. So ultimately, you are doing an inventory for them. Make sure you are zooming in on things. You're actually taking an inventory for them. And this will help them more than you can ever imagine. They will love you for it. And by the way, almost nobody is out there doing this. This is an opportunity for you to build your business bigger than ever imagined before. Okay, let me take a sip of my coffee this morning. Along with the finances, you always want to mention how much are they going to owe, because it's part of the financial picture. It's part of where they're going with this. Let's remember, this is going to be your new payment. This is your taxes. This is your insurance. This is the whole picture, and what you're ultimately going to owe is this. Getting that off the table will help you immensely. It's not the only thing, though, that people stress about by a long shot. Because once that's off the table, you still have all the children's stuff. You have the moving things. You have all the picture. And remember, you can help people on the moving process. So what if appliances die? What if in this moving process, they've sold their home and now they've got appliances that are dead? Or they move into a new home and they've got appliances that are dead? Well, you can be way ahead of it. And I'll tell you, people don't even think about this problem. They don't think about appliances dying. And yet it happens all the time. I can't tell you how many times And over the years, how many clients, the refrigerator dies on the day they're moving out or the day they're moving into something. So how do we protect ourselves? Well, this is an easy one. You already know where I'm going with it. You can buy them as part of the process. And we nearly always do. We buy them as part of this process, a warranty package that will cover this stuff. It's one of the simplest ways. It's only a few $100s. You're getting thousands of dollars for your sale. Go and make a nice award to your client and say, part of this process, I want your family to have a smooth transition. And as part of the smooth transition, right here is a warranty. Just in case that refrigerator goes out, just in case that dishwasher goes out, just in case, the hot water or the furnace has a hiccup or something happens to them. They go out to the garage and the hot water tank, and I've gotten the call many times, the hot water tank, hey Rod, we bought the house and the hot water tank, the water's all over the garage floor. Oh, well, guess what? We've gotten you a home warranty package that covers that hot water tank. And now you're going to get a new hot water tank. Congratulations. Let me get on that for you. You start making the phone calls. You start making it happen for them. And I'll tell you, it doesn't take long. And you attach the new homeowner, your client, to the process. And all of a sudden it's taken care of. And they've got, if this happened, they've got a new appliance. They've got themselves a new hot water tank all of a sudden. Now, of course, nobody wants one to break. But if it does, what a wonderful award system is to get something new out of it. That is terrific. And that is how you lower buyer's remorse ultimately. Is being the person, being the professional that held it together and had a remedy when they thought there was nothing that could be done. You swooped in with a remedy. You and your wonderful Superman cape swooped in. Okay. Slowing down here a little bit this morning. What about other projects? What about other things that are happening inside the home? What about the everything else that can happen? And we have to start thinking, how do we clean up the house that we left? Once again, you can supply for them maid services. You can supply for them opportunities that they don't even have to clean up. Many times we've had people that either were not able or didn't have time or just simply didn't want to have to do it. They couldn't take it. It was causing too much anxiety. And we were able to supply for them a maid service, and a few $100s later, I'm amazed that people are so willing at the end to say, well, someone just go clean it for me. They're tired. And it's not a physical tired often. It is a mental tired. They are simply tired. The process has wore them down. And by wearing them down, you can again swoop in with your cape and look terrific. All right. Another stressor, of course, is people will say, is my life going to change a lot? Unfortunately, for a lot of people, the moving process means their life is going to change a lot. But what you want to do is limit the factors. It's going to change a lot for schools. It might be changing for the parents on where they're working. It might be changing for them in other ways. But the family staying together often, that's usually often in a move. Not always, but they might be staying. So those factors are staying together. And they're getting things that they've always wanted. More security. Maybe they were moving from an apartment and they're moving into their own home. So it's changing. And you can emphasize that the change is for the positive change. Yes, change is difficult and change is inevitable. We know that. But explaining to people that this change puts in more stability and permanence in their life. And with social media, nobody gives up friends anymore. Nobody gives up friends. So they've got, maybe they're moving 100 miles away, and they can stay in contact with their friends. Remind them of the social media apps that are out there. Remind them of how they can stay in contact, even though people know the process. Reminding them that they won't be disconnected from their current friends while they are there making new friends. And I mean this for the adults as well as the kids. While they're there making new connections, new friends, they also, it's so easy now with social media and all of the Zooms and Google Hangouts and Google Meet and Amazon Chime and all of these programs that are out there, and the Facebook groups and the Twitters, the everything that's out there. We not only can communicate, but we can literally stay in front of them in real time. And that by itself, reminding people, I would make a list of how to stay in front of people, because sometimes the kids are young enough that they're not going to have all this social media, stuff well developed. So you may want to remind the parents to help them develop this so they can stay in front of the friends and colleagues that they currently know. This is important to keeping the stress level low for the family. By keeping the stress level low for the family, you are absolutely managing the anxiety, and ultimately, you're going to get them past the buyer's remorse. This is Real Estate Daily. I'm your real estate guru. We are here to build your business bigger than ever imagined before. And how we do that is making sure you are getting the referrals that you deserve from your hard work and building the relationship with your clients. And we'll be talking to you shortly.